I know this is kind of cheesy, but I am currently stuck in traffic and figured while these things are on my mind, I would go ahead and record them and just post my video recording for everyone's listening pleasure. Haha. This is Alicia Cockrell, and my son, Aiden, Aiden, is currently enrolled in and participating in the BMN 111 trial drug administration, the drug that is now known as vosoritide. There are lots of questions out there about the medication and how it's administered and what the child goes through. So I can only speak from my personal perspective, and I can say the things my child has conveyed to me. I do hope in the very near future to get him to sit down and do a question and answer session so that he can answer people's questions himself, since I'm not really able to speak for him. The first thing that I will say about the start of the drug is that we started the drug as the third child in the entire world to take the medication. So when we started, and at the administration phase that we're currently in, there's lots of blood work. I mean, lots of blood work. The very first week that he was on the medicine, we spent the entire week at the hospital. He wasn't admitted to the hospital. He was, it was just go to the clinic during the day and then go to a hotel at night. So, we did have a little bit of free time, but every single day he was stuck for blood draws. Most of the time they just insert a little, I don't even remember what they call it, but it's a little line into the child's arm so that they can just draw the blood repeatedly from that same spot instead of having to stick the child multiple times. You know that our children have juicy little fluffy arms, and most of them have a couple of rolls in their arms. So it's extremely difficult for the nurses to find veins. The nurses that we use at Vanderbilt are extremely good. It's just hard to get a good vein on a kid with roly-poly little arms. So the blood draws for Aiden personally are a huge source of nervousness. The week that we went for the medication administration, the first week and second and third and fourth weeks where we went every single week, he was so nervous about the blood draws that he wouldn't eat. He wasn't sleeping at night. He was crying in his sleep. I mean, he was extremely upset and nervous about the blood draws. Conversely, two of the children that we know personally who are participating in the same study at the same clinic have no problems whatsoever with the blood draws. They talk right through them and are not bothered in any way whatsoever by being stuck with the needle. So I think that the reaction to the needle sticks and the blood draws is really going to be dependent on each individual child and how they react to those situations already. The other thing that is really taxing for the child is the sleep studies. I'm sure most of you have already had your child go through a sleep study, at least one. And so you know what's involved with that. It's wrapping them up with wires, from head to foot, belly, and all in between. And then, of course, the room has to be really quiet. The kid's all wired up. He seems like he's a little uncomfortable. Aiden hates the sleep study, although it is not painful for him. It just means going to bed at a different time from normal and having to sleep in a hospital bed. So those are the two things that really get Aiden worked up, nervous, upset, crying, not eating well, blood draws, and sleep studies. The rest of the trial program for Aiden, he doesn't mind it. He doesn't mind the x-rays. He doesn't mind the echocardiograms or the EKGs or the CAT scans. He doesn't like the CAT scans because, you have to be still for several minutes while the machine is running. But, it's not painful, and he doesn't cry about it. He just doesn't like it. So those are the things, that we've had to go through as part of the initial phase. I am not sure when other children start the next phase where that it's strict drug administration versus effectiveness or safety. I'm not sure if all of that testing will be required. It's very possible that once the safety and effectiveness have been tested and you're now just literally in an administration phase for new patients or new children, that they won't have to endure all of that testing. I hope that answers a little bit of the questions you guys have. I am actually almost to my destination, so I was able to fill my time nicely. If you have more questions, send them in and I will try to answer accordingly. And also feel free to ask questions that you may specifically want Aiden to answer, because I think I'm going to bribe him a little to see if he'll talk to you guys. Thanks. Bye.